last week topic. What was last week topic and what stood out for you during last week teaching? Let's have a quick recap of what last week was all about. Tell me, I'm waiting. What did you learn last week? And what is it that stood out for you last week? So I am on the comment section and I am waiting for the first person to drop it. What was the topic last week and what did you learn? Okay, so while we wait for that, because I so much believe that someone is typing. So while we wait on that, today we are looking at emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, that's what we are looking at today. And this is one topic that can change your life. Yes, let me say that again. This is one topic that have the capacity to change everything about your life. If only you learn it, you pay attention, you learn it, and you are able to implement. It will change your life. It will change how you relate with people, and it will change every area of your life. Yes, it's same thing as every area of your life, right? Okay, so emotional intelligence. Let's shoot it. Someone said, and that is Daniel Gorman. Please, can you go back to the topic? He said, knowing your own emotional blind spot is the beginning of wisdom. Knowing your own emotional blind spot is the beginning of wisdom. So that means once you know where you are lacking in your emotional life, you have gotten wisdom. And wisdom is one thing that changes the world. So let's go to the next slide. All right, so what are the objectives for today's teaching? Why are we here? What are the things that you'll be learning that will be able to change your life? Number one is that during this lesson, you will be able to learn, or rather, at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify or define emotional intelligence. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define emotional intelligence. The number two objective for today's class is that you'll be able to identify your own emotions and understand why you feel them. You'll be able to identify your own emotion. You know, sometimes when you have emotion, like you don't even know what is wrong with you. But when you identify it, you'll be able to understand it. So at the end of this lesson, you will learn how to identify them and then understand why you feel them. Number three is you're going to learn to recognize and respond to your emotions, to the emotions of others. So you're not just going to be learning this class or learning emotional intelligence for yourself. You are also going to be learning it to relate with others appropriately. Okay? So let's move. Sorry, let me wear my glasses. Okay, so let's talk about Kofi. Let's talk about Kofi and the football match. Let's talk about Kofi and the football match. So let's go. Kofi's football team loses a big game after his teammate Mensah made a mistake. Kofi's football team loses a big game after his teammate Mensah makes a mistake. Out of anger and frustration, Kofi yells at Mensah, who runs off the field feeling sad and ashamed. Kofi shows a lack of emotional intelligence. You see, though this is a story of Kofi and his teammate Mensah. What happened? Of course, every football team wants to win. Whenever you are playing a game, your goal is to win. We all love winning, right? But here, because Mensah made a mistake, and that mistake caused the team the opportunity to win, Kofi became so angry with him that he yelled at him. You know, when your siblings make you angry like that, you yell, "What is it? Out!" So that was exactly what happened. And out of shame and out of anger, for disappointment, out of feeling that he's the cause of what happened and all that, Mensah left the field, ashamed and sad. And that shows something, that Kofi was not able to display emotional intelligence. So what this slide is telling us is, when something happens and we allow our emotion to have the best of us, we will end up not showing emotional intelligence. Okay? So let's go. So what now happened after that? At the end of that, Kofi's coach, that is Papa Young, helps Kofi. Of course, he saw what happened and he know that Kofi could do better. He know that if only Kofi understood how to handle his emotion, maybe next time he would have been more emotionally smart. And what did he do? He helped him to see his mistake. He asked Kofi to reflect on his own emotion. He said something like, "So Kofi, you know this. Yes, we know that Mensah made a mistake, right? Nobody is saying that he didn't make a mistake. But see, you can't allow your emotion to have the best of you. You have to sit back and reflect on what you are feeling right now." So he asked him to reflect on his own emotion, his own feeling, and to think about what Mensah was feeling because of the way he reacted. So Kofi realized at the end of this reflection that a great leader needs to understand their own emotions and the emotions of other people. So if you're gonna be a good leader, and I used to say this, that you don't become a leader when you have a title. You become a leader when you find yourself in any space. Yes, let me say that again. You become a leader when you find yourself in any space. So the way all of you us are here, we are 7 in number. The way an individual who decides to take initiative, who decides to make a difference in this room, who decides to, be the person of, that is interactive and decides to, do what others are not doing, maybe make more sense when some other people are making jests or maybe laughing at the comment section. As an individual who have decided to make a difference, you are a leader. In your school, in your house, you don't need anyone to tell you. In fact, you don't need to senior anyone to be a leader. In the school, anyway, any space you find yourself and you are able to rise up to what others are running away from, you are a leader. And if you must be an effective leader, there has to be a way where you understand your own emotion and the emotion of other people. So when people, doesn't want to play any longer, when someone is sad. And if you remember in the Bible, Joseph was able to read the emotion of the prisoners. That is why he was able to interpret their dreams. And guess what? That interpretation of dreams changed the whole story for Joseph. They were able to know him as, this guy can be able to interpret dreams. And when it was time for someone to come interpret the dream of Pharaoh. The people that he helped in the prison were like, this guy, because he rose up and become a leader in the prison. So you don't need a title to become a leader. Please, let's go over to the next slide. So let's talk about what emotional intelligence is all about. Emotional intelligence, which is in short form, usually called EQ, is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions. Your ability to understand your emotion and manage your emotion, and to recognize and influence the emotion of those around you. So emotional intelligence is the ability to understand your emotion and to manage your emotion in order to do what? Help other people manage their own emotion is called emotional intelligence. Is often more important than IQ. IQ is intellectual quotients. Okay, so is often IQ is often higher than IQ for success and happiness. So if you must relate to people and become a very successful person, there is need for you to be conversant or know all about emotional intelligence, because it will take you places where your intelligence, your intellectual IQ will not be able to take you. Your intellectual IQ will give you A1, we give you 888, we make you first class and all that. But if you don't have emotional intelligence, you may have all those aids, but you will not be able to relate with people. Nobody will like you. Nobody wants to do anything with you because you are annoying. You don't know when someone, you are crossing people's boundary. You don't know when someone is sad. You don't know how to talk to people and all that. So emotional intelligence or emotional quotient is the way to go. Okay. So at this point, I want you to go to the chat room. Drop in the comment section what you are feeling now. What are you feeling now? For me, I am feeling excited. I am feeling happy, right? I'm also feeling calm. So go to the comment section, type what you are feeling now. Look at yourself. Ask yourself, what am I feeling now? What am I feeling now? Then go there and type it. Go there and type it. So I'll be waiting, expecting our responses. Okay? What are you feeling now? What are you feeling now? Go over there in the comment section and type it. What are you feeling now? All right? Who is going first? Type it. What are you feeling now? All right, so let's move. Over to the next slide, please. All right, so let's talk about the 4 key components of emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence all about? If you want to cook soup, okay, so this is Sunday. Most of us ate rice. Okay, David said, I am tired because I ran. Oh, all right, that's amazing. So just naming your emotion, knowing your emotion and naming it is one way, to get acquitted or to manage your emotion. Yeah, that's one way to manage it. Knowing it and naming it is one way to manage it. Okay, so let's talk about key emotions, key components of emotional intelligence. So when we talk about components, what is it all about? So I will liken it to, today is Sunday, so most of us cook rice. Most of us cook rice, I know. I don't need to ask, I know. So most of us cook rice at home. So you agree with me that mommy didn't cook that rice with only tomato. It's not true. There are many things that went into the pot with tomato. So for you to say this is a stew, there are things that went into the pot with the tomato. So it's not just the tomatoes. There are things that went there. Oil went there. The tomato there, of course, went there. Kiki said she feel good, relaxed because I cooked. Amazing. That's so super, super amazing. All right. So you agree with me that it's not just the tomato, there are pepper, there is oil, meat, or fish, whatever protein mom added to the stew, and every other thing, right? So depending on the kind of stew, there are things that make it up. So that is what components, when you hear the word component, it's like a makeup of what we make something to be. So number one of the key components of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Yes. And this self-awareness is all about identifying what you are feeling and why. So David said he felt tired, I guess. I think it was David that said that he's tired. Yes. He said it's because he ran. You see the connection. So he was able to identify that, oh, I am tired. So self-awareness, you must come to that point where you can identify what is going on. So let me give you an instance. Let's say, for example, in our home, um, your sister or your brother did something, or even maybe mommy did something to you or says something, and you feel so angry, or maybe you made a request and she's saying no. You felt really angry. If you must control yourself, like you want to control your emotion or manage your emotion rather, you have to first understand what you are feeling at the moment. You ask yourself, what am I feeling now? Sad? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling disappointed? Are you feeling what's those emotion under anger? So you have to, are you feeling overwhelmed? So you have to do what? Recognize, identify what you are feeling at the moment. Then you ask yourself, what could be the reason why? Do you know sometimes you can be, you can have an emotion without knowing where the emotion is coming from. In fact, most of the time you are angry, you don't know why you are angry. That is why self-awareness is all about. It's important because you need to sit back and ask yourself questions. So actually, and sometimes it could be that somebody made you angry in school, and without you, and let me even say this: any emotion that you are not able to express will still remain with you. Let me say that again. If you are angry at something, you are so mad, or somebody made you so angry, or somebody bullied you at school, you cried, you felt so bad about it, and you didn't do anything about it. You didn't tell, you didn't manage it, you didn't express it, you did nothing. Do you know what will happen? It will still stock up in your body. It's not me that is saying it. Science has proven it. Any emotion that we don't express is still somewhere in our body. It's still somewhere in our mind. When I say body, I mean that the body is also part of the emotions we feel. So they will get stuck with us. So that is why when something happens, find a way to express it. And we are going to come to that. Okay? I will teach you how to express it. So you have to understand what you are feeling and why you are feeling it. It's only until you sit back and ask yourself those questions, you may not be able to know where your emotions, the feelings you are having is coming from. So when someone make you angry at school and you didn't do anything about it, you may come back home and start beating your little sister or your little brother, and you start beating them or start being mad at them because of, you may not even know most of the time, but when you think through, you find out that anger started in the school, maybe when your teacher flogged you without allowing you to express yourself. Then you came back at home And then as you are entering the house, your siblings have littered everywhere with water. The next thing you want, your body will push you to do is to beat the hair out of her or out of him. You may even, at the end, feel so remorseful of what you did because you, of course, you don't mean to cause him or her, such pain. But because somebody had made you angry at school, you carried it, come back home, and pour it at someone that is innocent of the reason why you are angry. So that is how emotions work. So, but you have to start with self-awareness. Why am I angry? Who made me angry, or who made me this angry, right? So the next thing you want to do is self-regulation. That is also a key component of emotional intelligence. You must learn how to self-regulate yourself. You must learn how to self-regulate yourself. So let me give you an example. Let me share a little story with you. So there was times where I was teaching, and sometimes everywhere will be loudy. These kids are shouting, they are reporting one person after another. There are so many works to do on your table. There are so many things to do. And most of the time, I will get overwhelmed. I will get overwhelmed. Sometimes I'll feel like screaming. Sometimes I'll feel like ignoring and just focusing on my work. Then as days go by, I learned a strategy. I learned a strategy. I learned a strategy. And what was the strategy? So in the midst of everything that's going on in the classroom, I will just sneak out, and then I'll go to the toilet. I'll go to the toilet or the ladies. I'll go there. Of course, the environment teachers' zone are usually, beautiful, always clean. So, but I'll go there um to ease myself. I'll go there. I'll take a deep breath. I'll wash my face. I will stay there and enjoy the quietness that exists in that place. Maybe after a few minutes, most times 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I'll just walk out to face what is facing me. Is a self-regulation strategy, right? And self-regulation is all about managing your reaction to your emotion. So something, you come back from school, little siblings did something or big siblings did something. Instead of you hearing and calling names and all that, you can decide to walk out of the scene. That thing that happened, just try as much as possible not to say anything. Because when you open your mouth, you're going to regret what is going to come out later on. And guess what? If it is big siblings that you are responding to, he may end up giving you another set of slap. And the more you talk, the more things get so bad. So what do? You step out from the scene. Just pretend as if you are going to ease yourself in the toilet, not because you want to wee, right? But because you want a calm environment. I want to know how to do that because they may ask you, are you walking out of me? I'm talking and you are leaving. No, you have to do that smartly, right? So the next thing you also want to do when your emotion is all over is to take a deep breath. A deep breath can be a life-saving, saver rather. Take a deep breath. Just do that like 3 times to 5 times, and then calm your nerves. When we are calm, we listen very well and we interact very well. Does it mean that you don't have to express yourself when things are going wrong? No, no, no. You may also have to express yourself. But when you are tense and you want to express yourself, you may not be clear enough. In fact, sometimes you may even be misunderstood, right? So you need to calm yourself before expressing yourself. So you can take a deep breath. So the next thing you can as well do is Your pen and your paper. Your pen and your paper. Your pen and your paper must be your friend. Pen and paper must be your friend. Learn how to write about what you are feeling. So, a teacher made you angry. Maybe something happened in the class. He didn't permit you to express yourself, and he ended up flogging you. What do? You may not have the opportunity, or you may not want to go and ask him or tell him, this is what you did to me, Mrs. Emeka or Mr. Emeka. This is what happened. I was trying to do this, but he refused to answer me. This one, that one. You may not have the luxury to do all those things. You may not have the luxury to do that. In fact, sometimes when you even want to explain to the teacher, you may end up putting yourself in trouble. So what do? You go home, or maybe still in the classroom, but you have to get your privacy. Get a book, get a paper, and start writing. So as I was going to school today, Nkechi or Jane fell the book that Mr. Emeka gave me to copy my notes, copy the class note from, and the book fell inside the water. As I was trying to explain, he beat me without listening to me. And at that point, I feel so terrible. I feel like, getting the cane from him and flogging him back. In fact, I feel like yelling at him. But I can't do that. Not because I don't want to, but because he is my elder and I respect him. So that is why I'm expressing myself in this jotter. See, you express yourself. Talk about what happened. Talk about what you have learned. You not tell yourself at the end of, oh, maybe this thing have taught me that when next I'm handling a teacher's book, I have to be more careful. I have to put it in my bag. I don't have to carry their book on my hands again. But for Jane was not even able to tell me, apologize, for what happened. Like, talk about it. In fact, talk about it as if you are talking to the teacher without, if you are closing your eyes without thinking he will react anything or he will say anything. You get, express yourself in that pen and paper, talk about it there. So what else can you do? What else can you do to handle your emotion? You can as well talk to someone. Express yourself to your mommy, to your daddy. Talk about it. Talk about it. Like I tell you, any emotion you don't express, because our body, flows with our emotions. Sometimes when we are angry, it can cause headache. I've experienced that before. I was so mad at someone, and I was just, talking about this person. What she did was very wrong. At least she would have called me on phone. As I was saying that, I was having a headache. In fact, I had to take paracetamol. And then when I start again, the headache will come back. I had to learn that this thing, there's a connection. So you have to know that any emotion you don't express will be stuck with your body. And, it will be buried in your subconscious mind. In fact, it may even begin to reflect in your behavior towards that person and towards every other person around you. So tell me, what have you been learning? Are you learning anything new? Tell me, what are the emotional regulation or self-regulation you'll be trying out soonest? Which one will you be trying out soonest? Go to the comment section and type it right away. Type it right away. Type it. Type it right away. Which one will you be trying out soon? Which of the emotional intelligence self-regulation will you be trying out very soon? What are you learning? Are you still here? Am I talking to myself? I need to get all those and make sure that all of us, we are in this class together. I need to be sure. I need to know. So please type that in the comment section. What are you learning? Which of the emotional self-regulation are you? Which of the emotional self-regulation will you be trying out soon? Okay, make focus. Yeah. So I'm waiting for us. I'm waiting for us. So I can see testimony here. I can see Kiki and David. I can see Jenny Momo. I can see Christabel and Hadrell. I hope I got that right. I can see Chimamanda and Kechinachi. I can see Kim Sinachi. I can see Anna and Evergreen, Amazing Amarachi. I can see Amazing Amarachi too. So what we are you trying? Which of the self-emotional regulation or self-regulation will you be, trying out this week? So let's talk about empathy. So another component of self emotional intelligence is empathy. That is understanding and feeling what others are feeling. Understanding and feel very, very important. You shouldn't be playing and someone is telling you stop, 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 and you are still doing something like that. You are still doing that. It shows that you lack emotional intelligence. No, you shouldn't do that. Know when people fade or when people are no longer interested in what you are doing or the play you are playing. Okay, you have to be empathetic. Know that people you need to understand how they feel to relate with them. Okay, you don't call somebody names and you expect that person to smile at you. No, you need to understand other people's feeling. Sometimes put yourself in their shoes, right? So sometimes put yourself in their shoes. When you are making someone angry, when the person reacts or the person responds, you don't feel like the person should, feel a certain way. Of course, we all need to learn emotional intelligence, but it's important for us to understand what others are feeling. That helps our emotion and our relationship. So the next one is social skill, using your emotional understanding to build relationship and resolve conflicts. Very, very important. You must learn how to use social emotional intelligence to do what? Build your relationship. What makes relationship to last? Some of you may be complaining, this my friend there, sometimes, she's like this, she's like that. And it could be that maybe you don't understand how they feel when they try to express themselves. They will tell you something, or they will try to correct you. You feel you don't feel what they feel. You don't feel that what you did was wrong. If we must have a great relationship, emotional intelligence must be part of it. So social skills is a very important aspect of emotional intelligence because it helps us to use our emotional understanding to build our relationship and to resolve conflicts. So let's move. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move. Okay. All right. So let's get into that. Let's do a quick checkup on our understanding of the subject matter. So the question number one says, what is emotional intelligence? Oh, there's no B here, but basically it's all about understanding and managing our own and other people's emotion. So okay, this basically is only B that is there. So number two is, what did Kofi do that shows a lack of emotional intelligence. So tell me, what did Kofi do that shows that he lacked emotional intelligence? No, tell me, Shebi, you are here. Don't just say see, say what he did. What exactly did he do? Let me see who among you was paying attention. What did he do? You are still saying see. He yelled at Mensa. Okay? So thank you, Kiki. The number 3 is Papa Yon helped Kofi by asking him to think about what? What did he ask him to think about? Let's see who is going first. Let's see who's going first. Let's see who's going first. What did he ask him to do? He asked him to think about his feelings. So the next one is self-regulation is the ability to do what? Is the ability to do what? Self-regulation is the ability to do what? Is the ability to do what? Manage our emotions, manage how we feel and reroute the heart to our emotion. Okay, thank you. So Kiki, thank you for that. When number 5, when you can see a situation from another's person's point of view, you are practicing what? When you can see another's, our people's situation or see a situation from people's perspective, empathy. Yes, when we are able to see, people's, when we are able to see a situation from people's perspective, it is called empathy. So let's move on. All right. So another checkup. So a person with high emotional intelligence will likely do which of the following after a mistake. So a person who is emotionally intelligent would apologize and explain their feelings calmly. So when you do something, or when you are not able to manage something or a situation very well, if you have a high emotional intelligence, your responsibility is to do what? Apologize for what happened and explain how you felt. And using the word I feel embarrassed when you shouted my name in the public. That is why I didn't respond to you. I feel so angry when you spoiled my pen. I feel, or not, you made me feel. Okay, it will help you to communicate your emotion very well. The first step to building emotional intelligence is to identify what you are feeling and name it. Identify it and name it. The next one is, which is a good way to manage anger? Which of them is a good way to manage anger? Take a deep breath. Make sure you take a deep breath and calm yourself. Take a deep breath and calm yourself. So the next one is, Kofi learned that being a great leader involves not just skill, but also what? Emotional intelligence. And I said here that being a leader is not all about, you know, it's not about title. It's not when they say you are the class prefect that you should become a class prefect. Even if you are in the class, you should be able to make a difference. Let it be that at the end of the section, people will still be referencing you for what you did for them. They will say, when I was the classmate of Chidalo, when I was the classmate of Daniel, I am like this. This is what he was able to do for me, right? If you are in the classmates or anywhere and you are not making any difference, you are not a leader. A leader is you saw something, you saw a problem, and you solve it. You are in the classroom, you are in the room, you are in our home, you find a problem and you go ahead to solve it. Not waiting for anyone to tell you, not waiting for anyone to talk about it. You see it, you do it. That makes you a leader. Okay? Kofi apologized to Mensa, shows that he was using the emotional intelligence to build a strong relationship. So let's go to the next slide. So let's talk about the reflection and affirmation. Okay? Think about a gift, a time your gift was challenged, a time where you felt you should be able to do something, and then maybe you were not prepared to do it, or you were asked to do it in a haste or something. How do you feel? And how did you manage your feelings? How can understanding your own emotions and those of others help you use your gifts more effectively? So let's share in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Have you been able to find yourself in that space where your emotion is so high? You felt like you cannot control your emotion. You felt like, you just need to react so that everybody will know how angry you are. Have you felt like that before? And how were you able to handle it? So I want one person or two people to talk about that before we do our affirmation. Who is ready to talk? If you want to talk, raise your hand, and then we will call you out. Okay, okay. Amazing Amarachi. Amazing Amarachi. Do you want to talk? And an evergreen. Do you wish to tell or share with us times where you were emotionally, or maybe something happened, you got so angry and you you maybe handle it well, or maybe you didn't handle it well. Share with us what happened. Testimony, Kiki and David. Okay, no thanks. All right. Okay, Christabel, Chimamanda. All right. So everybody's running away from talking, right? That's fine. Okay, so let's move. Let's move. So repeat the affirmation with me. Repeat the affirmation with me. I am keen observer. So put your hand on your chest and say this after me. Say this after me. I'm a keen observer of my feelings, and I'm learning to manage them with wisdom. I am developing my ability to understand others, and this helps me build stronger relationships. My emotional intelligence is a key to my success in life, and I give myself into building it amazingly. Amen. So let's go back to feedback and conclusion. Let's go back to feedback and conclusion. All right. So how well did this lesson help you understand your emotional intelligence? How well did this lesson help you understand what emotional intelligence is? What was the story of Kofi, of Kofi. Was the story of Kofi a helpful way to explain this topic? I am confident that I can start to understand and manage my own emotions better. So tell us, give us feedback. How well was this lesson? How well has it helped you to understand your emotion or emotional intelligence rather? Let us know in the comment section. Have you been able to understand something about the emotional intelligence rather? Have you been able to learn how to manage your emotion? I want someone to say something in the group, say something in the chat. Kiki and David, what you are saying is out of the line. This is if you don't want me to lock up the chat room, you will have to stop now. So tell me, have this lesson helped you to learn something new? Have it helped you to learn how to manage your emotion? Has it helped you to manage, your feelings? Was the story of Kofi helpful in explaining this topic? All right, testimony said 100%. So thank you so much. Thank you, testimony. So let's do a summary. So in summary of what we've learned today, we've learned that emotional intelligence is a crucial skill for both personal and professional success. If we must make a headway, if we must change the world, change our lives and change the world, we have to learn emotional intelligence. By understanding and managing your own feelings and being empathetic to others, you can build stronger relationships. Just know it. If we can understand how others feel, we can build stronger relationships and, of course, become a better leader and friends. Because of what? Because we are able to build our emotional intelligence. So we are going to be having a few announcements now, and then I will hand over to Coach Victor to take the ambassador affirmation with us. So the next slide, Coach Victor. So if you are yet to get this book, please do well to do that. What we taught in the class today is a sneak peek or is a small portion of this topic, all right? So the full topic, the full evaluation questions and everything is in this book. And if you want the soft copy, yes, I have my own copy here. See it here. So it's a very, very amazing book. All the topics are here. There are a lot of topics here. In fact, most of the things we'll be doing in these classes is coming from this book. So do well to get your own. And it's 5,000 naira for the e-copy and then 10,000 naira for this hard copy. Get your own, okay? So if you want to get that, reach out to Coach Victor and he will send you the details and everything. Even if you need someone to deliver to you, tell mommy that it will send the book to you. The next one is try as much as possible to join the channels, the WhatsApp channels, all the information about PDAC Foundation and all the programs. We are sending it over there, right? So that you will be updated on every program that we are bringing your way. And remember, the vision is all about equipping African children with personal development skill, one child per time. All right, over to you, Coach Victor. Thank you so much for being part of this class. I celebrate each and every one of you. I celebrate David. Although you turn our WhatsApp, you turn our comment section to an amazing football field. but we shall celebrate you. David and Kiki, we celebrate you. Testimony, thank you. Journey, thank you. Christabel and Hedred, thank you. Chimamanda and Kechina, Kim Sinachi, thank you. And an evergreen, amazing Amarachi, Coach Victor, thank you. And everyone that is in the YouTube page, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Coach Victor.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for that amazing class. Can we all say a big thank you to Coach Esther in the comment section? Everybody go to the comment section and say thank you, Coach Esther, for the amazing class, both on YouTube and on Zoom. Kindly express your appreciation. Yep, hope you enjoyed the class, Emotional Intelligence. Okay, sorry, I can't put on my video for now because I am in an amazing place, but I trust you can hear me. All right, without wasting much time, we have just 4 minutes to go. So, what is one thing that stood out for you? Everybody, tell me one thing that stood out for you, just one thing. You don't need to tell me a lot. Just tell me one thing that stood out for you. So I am in the comment section waiting for someone to bail us out before we take our PDA creed. What is one thing that stood out for you in today's class? All right, I'm waiting. I'm looking at my YouTube. I'm looking at my Zoom. Kiki and David said that you can show your emotions. I said, what is one thing that stood out for you? So you need to personalize it. All right. Okay. One thing that stood out for me is that I learned how to regulate my emotions. I learned how to, so make it personal. That I can show my emotions. Thank you, Anna and Evergreen. Okay. Chidima in the YouTube said emotional intelligence. Tando said, I learned that emotional intelligence is how you manage and regulate the way you feel. Beautiful. I thought I would see more comments. I thought more ambassadors would drop their comments. All right. So thank you everyone that has given that feedback. So let's take our PDA creed. Remember, repeat after me. Say it with confidence, with all boldness, with all audacity. Say it like you mean it because our PDA creed is a confession we are making over ourselves. All right. Yeah, I can still see the feedback coming in both on YouTube. I learned about emotional intelligence. Thank you, Chidima. All right, so repeat after me as we take our creed. I am a PDAC ambassador. I am a child of God. I understand myself. I discover, develop, and unleash my God given potential. I have strong beliefs and values that guide my actions and decisions. I cultivate good habits and follow principles that lead me to success. I have the wisdom to make, manage, and multiply money effectively. I am a confident and inspiring speaker. I dream big dreams, set smart goals, make great plans, and take quick steps to make my dreams come true. I am a great leader. I inspire myself and others to achieve great things. I am excellent in my academics and I love to learn new things. I believe in myself and I have a positive self-image. I understand and manage my emotions well, and I am sensitive to others' feelings. I am proud to be a PDAC ambassador and will fulfill my duties with love, respect, excellence, and dedication. So help me God. Amen. So if you have just made this confession, kindly clap for yourself, celebrate yourself. All right. Okay, so this is where we'll come to the end of today's class. We will meet next week for another amazing class. All right. Happy new month, everyone. I am wishing you a prosperous, favor filled, blessed, amazing, adventurous, and beautiful month of March. All right. Take care and do have an amazing week. Bye, everyone. So, Coach Esther, you can end the meeting. You are the host. End the meeting for everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.